Hey folks, this is Vince with Dad's Gaming Addiction, and today we're going to take another look at the Star Trek Attack Wing game. Vinny Jr. and I are going to go ahead and play another game. Once again, we're relatively new, so we're still figuring things out, though we have a better handle on this now that we've played a few games. Vinny's going to go ahead and play as the Klingons, and I'll be playing as the Federation. Basically the opposite of what we did the very first game. Speaking of which, you can check out my video series on YouTube. If you like the X-Wing miniatures game, I have over 20 videos of that. In fact, Vinny just beat the crap out of me, so expect to see a video up on that soon. So with that said, let's go ahead and shut the camera off, and I'll show you what ships we picked and what upgrade cards and what captains we have. Okay, on the left is my fleet. I've got the USS Enterprise D. Again, we're just using the starter kit. We don't have any expansions. If you want to see what these cards do, though, I have a separate video out on this video series going over each of the cards and what they do. So definitely check that out after you're done here in case you have any questions. But yeah, I have the Enterprise D. I've got Jean-Luc Picard as a captain, Geordi LaForge and Miles O'Brien as my two upgrades. He's got the Klingon ship, the IKS the IKS long crappy name is there. He's got the Klingon captain. He's got a pilot skill, just a basic Klingon captain, photon torpedoes, and the advanced weapon system. IKS math. Okay, a few disclaimers to get out of the way. Once again, we are playing to have fun. We're not too worried about breaking a few rules to have fun. With that said, we did break a few rules on our first game in the series. For one, the photon torpedoes. Apparently you have to disable them and then use an action to re-enable them for a future turn. So that's something that we're going to definitely look into here. And the cloak is also new to us. We're used to the X-Wing miniatures game, and there is no cloak in that game yet. I don't know if there will be, but the cloak is new to us. But from what I understand, when someone activates their cloak, they put the cloak token green side up on the base. They can still be target locked for the remainder of that turn. And they have to flip their shield tokens over to the red side. And this is assuming that they have shields to begin with. If they don't have an active shield, then they can't cloak, from what I understand anyway. But after that, in a future turn, if it's still cloaked, then it cannot be target locked. So that's something else that I have to remember to do. So here's our current setup. Nothing fancy, no obstacles. This is just a straight out brawl. So let's go ahead and move on to the planning phase. Okay, we're going to move on to the movement phase, or the activation phase as it's called. The pilot skill, or captain skill in this game, is lowest to highest for movement. You've got a skill of 1, so you get to move first. And what did you do?
A straight.
Really? One. Okay, 1. And for your action, what would you like to do?
Cloaking.
You're going to cloak. Okay, that might be why. Okay, now this goes on your base, if I remember right. Yeah, goes on your base. You can still be target locked for the remainder of the round. You have to flip your shields over to the other side. If I were to attack you while you were cloaked, you wouldn't have any shields to protect you, but you get 4 extra defense die. So let's go ahead and resolve mine now. 5 straight ahead. I'm coming for you.
But are you in range?
Probably, maybe not. Let's go ahead and... Hold on, let me figure out what... I'm going to use Jean-Luc Picard. Each round you may perform one of the following actions as a free action. You may use this action even if your ship does not have it on the action bar. So I'm going to take a scan and a battle stations card, or token rather. And I think that'll do it for the activation. Let's go ahead and move on to combat now and see if we're actually in range to do anything. Okay, combat phase. Let's see if I can declare a target. I cannot. So combat resolves. Any unused tokens get thrown off to the side here. This is part of the end phase. Now you get to put this off to the side, and you can no longer be target locked on the future turn. So you are considered cloaked now and all that good stuff. Alright, so let's go ahead and go back to the planning phase. We'll shut the camera off and we'll plan our moves off camera. Okay, movement. We'll start with you first. What do you got? 1 straight ahead.
Again.
And for your action, what would you like to do? You're still cloaked.
Target lock.
You're in range of a target lock? Yes, you are. Alright, so you get 2 of these. 2A. There you go. And for mine, I will go ahead and go 2 straight ahead. It's going to get nasty. Now, again, with Jean-Luc Picard's ability, each round you may perform one of the following actions as a free action. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and play Miles O'Brien as an action. Disable this card to disable any one upgrade on another ship at range 1 to 3. This ability may be used against a ship that is cloaked. So I'm going to disable Miles O'Brien, put a disabled token on it, and I'm going to disable your Photon Torpedoes upgrade. This will prevent you from firing that. So you have to spend an action to get rid of that disabled token. Alright, so for my free action that Jean-Luc Picard is giving me, I will go ahead and take a scanner action. And that will force you to roll 1 less defense die. Well, what do you got going as far as agility goes? You already have 1 to begin with, so...
I get 4 extra, though, for the cloak.
So I guess Jour de la Forge was not a smart move on my part, because if I have a scan token beside my ship, I can force one ship you attack this round to re-roll. That would only work if he had 1 to roll. So Jour de la Forge kind of stinks if you're fighting someone with an agility of 1. I guess I didn't think that through. So I'm going to take a battle stations instead. Alright, so now we'll move on to combat. I get to shoot first. Let's go ahead and zoom in. Once again, my camera is not a video camera. It's just a DSLR. Video quality is not going to be perfect, so I apologize for any discoloration or whatever the case may be, lighting. I am at range 2 and within my primary firing arc there. So, I'm going to use my regular attack, I guess. Yeah, that's all I can do. I get 4 attack dice, and you get 5 defense die. Well, I guess I could have used Jour de la Forge's ability there while he's cloaked. So, alright, let me roll mine first and resolve this. I've got, hold on. Let me go ahead and, do I want to spend my battle stations? How many defense die do I get? 1. Alright, I'll go ahead and switch this over to a regular hit. Spend my battle stations. You've got 2 evade and 2 battle stations, which you can't use. So you take 1 damage. Since you have no shield, you take a face down damage card.
Did 5?
That's for your Photon Torpedoes.
Yeah,
so you get 1 damage for your...
What range are we attacking at?
What range? 2.
Yeah. Darn it.
Why? When you're at range 1.
You're attacking at range 1, then less attack die.
Uh-huh. Okay, so that concludes my attack. You take 1 damage to your hull. What are you going to do for yours now?
Attack with normal.
So you're going to attack normal. So you get, this is going to flip your cloak over to red.
I'm not going to use that one ability.
Oh.
I'm not.
So you're not going to use your advanced weapon system.
No.
Now your that gets resolved at the end phase. So keep those shields face. Not that it really matters, but for the sake of consistency, those stay face down until the end phase when that gets removed. You get 5 attack dice, and I get 1 measly attack dice.
Does it cloak automatically? Can you do the same thing in Star Wars when you get to spend it to reroll?
Yeah, you can spend any number of dice to reroll if you have a target lock. So you can choose to spend your target lock or keep things as is.
Use target lock.
Use target lock to reroll those 3?
Yeah.
Alright. So 2 criticals and a hit. So I take 3 shields. Okay, I lose 3 shields.
Wait, hold on, you have to roll.
Oh yeah. Evade. Okay, so I only lose 2. There we go. Well, I only had 1 defense die. I always assume the worst when it comes to rolling defense. I always get blown up. Okay, so that concludes the combat phase. Let's clean up now. This cloak goes bye-bye, and you get to switch your shields back on. Alright, and that concludes this turn, so let's go ahead and plan our moves again off camera. Okay, movement, starting with you. 3K turn, what is that called in this game? I can't remember. About face. I'm used to calling it a K turn. I don't remember the term for it. I think it's... Well, okay, so this is... Alright, let's go ahead and roll check this. I'm pretty sure I know what happens. But in Star Wars, whenever this happens, you still receive a stress token, or auxiliary power token. You do not make your K turn. Let me go ahead and shut the camera off so I can roll check. Okay, so yeah, after a brief roll check, the same as Star Wars, he has to retain the same color, but stay straight rather than make the come about action. So he does not get to take an action for running into me either. And he's stressed, so he can't. So, or auxiliary power tokened, whatever you want to say. Mine is a 3 slight turn this way. Alright, and for my action, I'll use Jean-Luc Picard's ability here to take 2. One of mine is going to be battle stations, and I'll go ahead and take, I guess I'll do a target lock. Alright, so that concludes the movement or activation phase. We'll move on to combat next. Okay, on to the combat phase. I have a rear firing arc, but according to the rulebook, I cannot fire my primary weapon through that rear firing arc. However, if I have another card that lets me use my rear firing arc, I can utilize that. In this case, the USS Enterprise D, instead of making a normal attack with your primary weapon, you may fire in any direction at range 1 to 2 with 3 attack dice. So I get 3 attack dice. I don't think range matters. This is a secondary weapon attack, so range wouldn't matter.
Yeah.
It won't matter.
It does in my attack. When any ship attacking you at range 1 rolls 1 less attack die.
Okay. Alright, so I get 1 less attack die, so I roll 2 attack dice. You get 1 defense die. Let me roll mine first. 2 hits. I'll keep them. And evade. So you take 1 shield. You take 1 damage to your shields. Alright, and you can't fire back because of your firing cone and no other card. You have no other firing arc. So that concludes combat. Let's go ahead and remove unused tokens. You're still stressed. You still got the target lock. Alright, let's go ahead and move on to the planning phase again. Alright, movement. Starting with your Klingon ship. What do you got?
2 straight.
2 straight. It's a green maneuver.
I discard that.
You discard that. And you get to take an action. What are you trying to do to measure for? You're in range for a target lock, if that's what you're thinking. You don't have the target lock ability anyway.
Yeah, I do.
Oh, you do? Okay, you do. Okay.
That's how I use it.
I know.
But
okay.
first, before I do that.
So you're going to spend your action to enable your photon torpedoes. Alright, my turn. 2 turn this way.
Uh-oh.
And I was hoping that you'd be in range. I don't think we are anymore. No. Okay, so the action really doesn't matter at this point because we're not going to shoot. So I'm just going to end the turn there, and we'll go ahead and move back into the planning phase again. All right, movement. You start first. 3 come about, as it's supposed to be called.
I'm going to call it K-turn.
K-turn. All right, you get a stress token. It's a red maneuver. Or auxiliary power token, sorry. I interchange Star Wars terms because I'm used to playing that. My turn, I am making a 3 hard turn. That is also a...
red maneuver. That sounded weird.
Alright, so I'm stressed. Nothing really to worry about there. We'll move back into the planning phase again. Okay, movement. What do you got for yours?
A 1 that way.
1 this way. Okay, so
That
this
way.
is like so. It's a green maneuver. And you get to take an action. It's not like we're going to be in range to really do anything, so just
Evade.
evade.
Jason K.
You're going to cloak?
No, I meant evade.
Okay. Do you have an evade on yours? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
but
good.
not a battle station.
Alright, so I'm going to make 1 turn. It's also a green maneuver.
Yeah, we're not in range.
So I lose that auxiliary power token, and I'm not going to worry about... Actually, for my action, I'll go ahead and disable this card. I can re-enable Miles O'Brien's ability. Alright, so that concludes this turn. Again, we're not in range for combat, so we'll move back into the planning phase again. Okay, movement. What do you got? One turn this way.
Darn it.
And what do you want for your action?
Range.
Actually, this was from last turn. You are not in range.
Cloak.
Cloak?
No, check it. Never mind.
Alright,
So
so
can we
flip
turn
your shields over upside down.
I know you're gonna attack with your secondary.
Alright. Mine is you still get an it was your action. Mine is a 2-turn this way.
I might be in range. Yes.
Alright, this mat is messing up that. I'm going to go ahead and... I get 2 actions. One is going to use Miles O'Brien to disable his photon torpedoes.
I can't even use it. I can't.
Because of your target lock.
Yeah, I don't have a target
That's alright.
lock.
Action, my other action, which I'll loop a card, I will take a battle stations action. Alright, so that concludes movement. We'll move on to combat next. Okay, combat phase. I get to attack you first. I have the higher skill. I am at range 3. So you get 1 extra defense die. So you get 6. 1 for your regular, 1 for being at range 3, and 4 for being cloaked. But let me roll mine first. I get 4 attack dice. So I've got a target lock to use too. Hold on. I've got battle stations. Let me go ahead. You know what? I'll use my battle stations and flip these over to hits. I will keep my target lock. You've got 2 battle stations, 2 blanks, and an evade. So you take... What are you doing? Oh, you get your 6th roll. That's right. An evade. So that's 2 evades. You take 1 critical damage face up. Reduce your agility value by 1 to a minimum of 0. Roll 1 attack die. On a hit result, flip this card face down. So...
What is it, an action?
Say, as an action, as an action, you can try and get rid of it.
Do you get damage hard though?
Yeah, that's still a damage. That still counts as a damage. So you have 2 hits to your hull right now. Alright, and you get to shoot back if you want to. Are you going to shoot?
Yeah.
Alright, so this flips, the cloak token flips back over to red. And I get 1 defense die. Alright, so that's 2 hits and a critical. I'm going to take damage here. So I get 3 hits. So I lose 2 shields, and I take a face-up damage card. Reduce your primary weapon value by 1 to a minimum of 0. As an action, roll 1 attack die. On a hit or critical hit, flip this card face down. Alright, so that resolves combat. Let's clean this up. Cloak goes away. Your shields get reactivated. Alright, still got my target lock. Alright, we're good. We'll move on to the planning phase next. Okay, movement phase, starting with you.
Hey, Caitlin.
What are you doing? 3K turn?
Yeah.
Or about face. You get a stress maneuver, auxiliary power. So no action there. For mine, I'm going 1 straight ahead. It's a green maneuver. Alright. Alright, for mine I get 2 actions. One is I'm going to do a battle stations, and I will go ahead and do a I'll do a scanner action. Well, actually no. Let me roll. I'm going to roll to see if I can get rid of this weapons malfunction. No, I do not. So I lose that opportunity. So, alright, so now onto the combat phase now. I get to shoot first. I'm at range 1. Your special ability kicks in though, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I have to roll 1 less defense die. So I roll 3 attack. And the reason is 4 normally. At range 1, I get to roll an extra 1. That's 5. But my critical damage and your ability reduces that by 2. So I get 3 attack dice. Let me roll mine first before you do anything. Alright, so I get 2 hits and a critical. Alright, wait. Well, that was blank. So I'm gonna... I have to give up my battle. You rolled too quick. I was gonna change this battle station into a hit. So you had a blank. So that's 3 damage. So you lose your 2 shields, and you get a face down damage card. Face down, not face up. I know you're curious. Now you cannot attack me back because the firing cone does not work. Okay, so that concludes combat. Nothing really here to clean up.
I have 2 to haul left.
Alright, so let's go ahead and shut the camera off and we'll move back into the planning phase. Okay, movement starting with you. 2 slight turn. It's a green maneuver, so you lose your auxiliary power token. And you get to take an action. Target lock. Alright. Mine is a 1 turn this way. 1 slight turn. Alright. And for my 2 actions, I will go ahead and do... What is your critical hit again? That is that reduced agility? Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Alright, so I'll take battle stations for my 1 action. For my other one, I will go ahead and roll... I'm going to try and get rid of this face-up damage card again. Jean-Luc Picard lets me do one of those free actions. So, weapons malfunction. Alright, so... Figures. On a battle station. Okay, so that's... I lose that chance to, again, get rid of that primary weapon. Apparently the engineers on my ship are inept. So, I get to attack now. This is the combat phase. I get, let's see, normally I get 4 attack dice. Let's take this one at a time. I'm at range 1. I get 5 attack dice. Now, weapons malfunction, lose 1. Your ship has an ability at range 1. I have to fire with 1 less. So there, 3 attack dice. So I'm going to roll these 3. You get 0 defense. Alright, I'm going to spend my target lock to re-roll these 2. A and A. I'm going to keep my battle station. Alright, 2 hits. I'm going to spend my battle station to flip this over to 3 hits. So you get 3 face-down damage cards. How much hull do you have?
5. We have 3.
Oh, so you take 3. So you have 6. You have 6 damage cards. Your hull is 5. All right. So your Klingon ship is destroyed.
5.
Good game. And there you have it. I hope you enjoyed this little game. You can check out my review of the base game of the starter kit at www.dadsgamingaddiction.com, or you can simply click on the links in the below description. That'll take you there as well. This is Vince and Vinny Jr. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.